Hello everyone. It's a bit late, but better than never. This is my look around Dust 2. I was unable to do it earlier because I was abroad and didn't have any machines, but Razer kindly sent me a Razer Blade, which I've tested and is pretty damn awesome. It's the 14-inch 2017, so in future that won't be a problem. Anyway, I just spent 20 minutes recording this bloody video and the microphone wasn't turned on. But at least I can probably summarize my thoughts a bit faster now because I like to go through and think about things as I go through them. But anyway, here they are. So I'll try and make them snappy. Starting in T-Spawn, this wall used to be a diagonal. Now they've made it all kinds of weird shapes, which is annoying when you're playing free-for-all deathmatch, which is worth mentioning because people do that, right? Especially in this position, if somebody's like crouching over there, maybe even standing, I think crouching, you have to stand on this lip to see their heads. Otherwise, you're not going to see them. It's kind of, well, it's different. It's different. I'll say that. I won't say annoying because it's different. And difference can be annoying until you're used to it. And that's not really legit. So I'll just say it's different. You've got this, you still got this angle in T-Spawn. So this is one way to look for CTs who are trying to flank, right? Quickly to summarize those ways. New car position. Can look on the car as well, or next to the car. Obviously over there. You've got these boxes in this position. So if somebody charges out, then well, you should have good warning on most flashbangs should they choose to throw them. But obviously you're not standing at a headshot level. So you may have an extra half a second against them. However, I do believe that there's a gap. So maybe they'll see you anyway. I know it's interesting. This is obviously quite deliberate. So we'll see how that goes. This is a position where Shocks used to stand and he used to throw a smoke grenade, which would land roughly here. So if you had any snipers trying to hold short, it would be quite a big problem for them. So they've put this awning here. And I think this is indicative of them wanting to stop people from relying on Old Faithful, which would make this map, this new map, a lot older, a lot quicker if you just applied all your old Stratego to it, right? Another example would be the height of this roof. Before, you could just do a running flash and it would be quite easy. It's a lot more difficult to do that. It's still possible, but I mean, you can easily mess that up, right? It's just a lot easier to have a guy stand here and throw a flash for you. So this, I'll say it might change rush timings a bit, which they've clearly tried to change all over the map, at least on the T side. But it also encourages a bit more teamwork as well. So long position, you've still got some cover from this position, but you're not going to be throwing grenades from there because of that. So that's this area pretty much covered. You still have this barrel position in case there's a push. You've got some cover to make life a little bit more difficult. You've still got these barrels here, so you can dance around this, dance around this. Suicide, if there are any of you who are new and don't know why suicide is called suicide, this is suicide, and it's called so because you're very likely to get shot by a sniper, hence the name suicide. And there's not much that I really want to say about this, apart from I'm glad all the construction which used to be on Dust 2 has gone, because it was just annoying, again, especially for free-for-all deathmatch, trying to duel with someone and hitting a pole or something. It's just like, why is it there? Didn't contribute and it did take away. So you've got this area here. This area is important for a number of reasons. If you are on a T side, excuse my asthma, still around. If you're on a T side and you want to cut off CT rotations to short, then this is a good position to do it from. You can just hold this angle the whole time, although if CTs are running up, they might see you. So it's nice to every so often just look around, and it might give you the extra jump on someone, a bit more surprise. Also, if you're expecting a push from short B, throw from short, it's a good position to shut it down. You've got cover from here. You've got cover from here. I like this one because if somebody pushes you from mid as well, if for whatever reason you don't have cover there, you're a bit further away, which is better against pistols, and also they're still going straight into your crosshair, more or less. And this is another angle to punish somebody pushing long from. So you can hold a tight angle here, you can hold another angle. But if you hold this tight angle, you are exposed to short. So you need to bear that in mind. You can jump on this box. I don't know if you can boost on here. You can check that out yourself. So that's all of this area. You can still jump on here, or boost rather, I should say. The long position, you've still got blue. You can still jump onto, or boost onto blue. You've still got this area here. You've still got the pit. The pit is pretty much the pit. This wall might be a little taller because I feel like you'd be around here and you would face people at long. But now you need to be a bit higher. The good thing, well, for those of you newer to the game, what's cool is if you have two people long, you have one guy, if you get into position, first of all, if you have one guy who's peeking here and your second guy is hiding like this, then once this guy starts engaging, he can pop out and he should get some free kills unless you're playing some wise people. Yeah, so those are some quick tips. The T's can try and avoid that by moving around that back wall, but people don't do that these days as much as they used to. Platform has changed. The stairs used to be around here. Also, there was a ridge going from side to side here, but that's gone. Platform has changed. You can still jump on this box. It's actually a lot easier now than it was before. If you want to use this box, you can. So the stairs are over here now. You've still got your plant for platform. Plant spot, as you can see. I don't have much else to say. Oh, crap. You've still got this position on this side. So if somebody buy those bags, you can catch them off guard, or people repositioning and just being a bit sloppy. The car position has all the cars are these new cars now, and often these new cars come with space and areas to dance. This corner, if you're in this corner for whatever reason, I think they've very deliberately made it hard for you to flash yourself out of it with this balcony. Even this can be a problem, as you can see. So this definitely encourages teamwork from your teammates. Otherwise, any flash you throw from here is going to be quite basic. However, I mean, maybe it does the job. You can still peek. You can peek with it. You can peek behind it. If somebody's in this area, though, it's going to be hard for you to flash them on your own. But it is what it is. You've got this dancing area. This is quite painful, actually, to headshot somebody holding a tight angle like this. It's not as easy as it looks. As in, if you're over there and you're trying to shoot someone here. You've still got a box here, but it is more exposed. Also, there used to be a nice trick where if you had a smoke grenade on the end, you could sit like this, but your vision is more obscured now than it was. So this isn't really useful at all. I mean, it is a gimmick, right? But one round of one gimmick can get you a long way, but it's gone. Obviously, you've got no flames over here. It used to be nice to sit here with a USP behind the old car and just pop at people, but obviously that's gone now. These sandbags are bulletproof. God damn it. I need to change that setting. There we go. Give me my gun. Okay. At the edge, they're not, but it's not the edge we're really talking about. They are pretty bulletproof. Straight through the middle, as demonstrated. Goose has an actual Goose on. In terms of flashbangs, there are, let's see, if you're over here, if you're a bit more to the left, you can actually flash and face at the same time, which is good. Not much to say about the sight. There used to be, the reason the pizza sign was most useful from the sight is you could do a nice pop flash into CT with it, but you can still do the same thing. So it's all good. You still have this aggressive peak of the short position. I wonder what that looks like from the other side. So you didn't have this depth before, but it is what it is. If you go more forward, you'll see more of people, and they will see more of you. You still have this position. You still have this. This is not a blind spot. They can always see you here. It works 5% of the time. This box, well, they used to be bricks, now it's a box. Um, I learned the usefulness of this from watching Guardian, because if you think about it, a lot of people, if there's a sniper here, wherever, any of these positions, they are going to be aiming for you at chest height, right? So if you face these angles as a sniper, here, you're more likely to get shot in the leg, which means that if you both hit each other, you are the one who's more likely to get the kill. So, I mean, this has always been here, right? But it's just some reasoning for you. If you're in this position as a CT, you can still be flashed over the roof. Old Dust2 was really cool to watch mouse sports on T side because they were really good at flashing snipers off all the angles. You still got this box here. I'm sure you can still jump on it with a boost. Not much really to say about any of this. This, though, there are significant changes here. This wall is pretty damn deep. So again, you can just like try and use it as a blind spot, although you'd be crazy not to check this. I mean, it's pretty easy to check, but still, it's here, right? Oh, this is interesting. I didn't think about it from this point of view. To give you more cover from the underpass area. I think it was when Device used to play against, I want to say G2. It was a French team. You'd often see him get boosted towards shore, and he would just face the wall because they would always flash the lower tunnel, and he would wait for that flash to come, and then turn and face. But anyway, that's a bit off topic. But we spoke about rush timings towards long. This wall used to be curved, so if I was making a play through suicide, often I would throw a flash there to try and not get sniped if I wasn't dead already. And then because this wall is curved, I'd throw a flash back here. It would bounce off and land. It would essentially be a pop flash for short around here. So if anybody was here quickly, then I'm going for them. As you can see, Valve have deliberately... Ooh. Or have they? I wonder. I mean, this wall is no longer around. However, the window... Ooh! It's still there! Okay. Oh, you sneaky buggers. I thought they'd removed it entirely. Well, it doesn't look so easy to do. Sneaky, sneaky buggers. Okay, where do we have to throw this from? I wonder. Is this like some next level troll? Maybe it needs to be on the left side of the room there. Why did I get stuck on something? Okay, well, I mean, if this is even possible, I really don't know. I don't know if this is possible. I mean, maybe a jump throw, but I don't really want to mess with that. Like a running jump throw, that's gonna be... Oh, God. Okay, so it is still possible, but it requires more skill now. It seems that you need to do a running jump throw to flash off. I should make a screenshot of that. It seems you need to do a running jump throw to flash off of this window. So the idea is still here. I literally just noticed that it is still here, but obviously is a great deal more difficult than it was. So that's another change in this short position. There are no more Xboxes, but I'm sure this will still be called Xbox. It's a lot easier to jump up than it used to be. A lot easier. I think it's taller when you're down here as well. Pop flash into mid still works. Just aim at this corner. And it's pretty good because if someone's like deep, look, that is perfect. Obviously they'll hear it coming, but it is going to flash everybody who's in this area. So that's pretty awesome. You can still smoke mid. I don't know where you do it from yet, but I will. I did make one earlier. But that will be in a separate video. Oh, maybe I've just done it there. Let's see, maybe that's good enough, or maybe not. I don't know. It'll do for now, so whatever. That's pretty good. So that's still possible. You can still do pop flashes from here. Yes, I acknowledge that there is a risk from doing it, but you don't have the ting, you don't have the warning of it. So anyway, grenades will be for another video. There is an angle here as well when you crouch, which with a rifle, I think this is awesome, and I look forward to this in use. where do we want to go next? Okay, so we've done a middle area, lower tunnel. This box is deeper, so I wouldn't say this is a blind spot because I mean, you check that you check this, you check this if you need to. You check this, right? It's like there's not a big deal. You should check this unless you're sloppy, then you're going to get knifed by me. Yeah, deeper on this side as well. So previously, I would stand between these two boxes and line up a smoke grenade here to smoke short. And hey, it still works. Another option for you, which you might find easier, just fast forward that, is back in the corner here, top of the line. Also does it. So I guess you're less likely to make mistakes this way. So there we go. But also, I suppose you're more exposed to the short position if you're further back. So something to think about there. This area, I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, this position is still here, but I feel like it's worse for the person in here than it was before. Slightly worse. You still have this position. Obviously, you have this one as well. Okay, I'm going to go back to T-spawn and make my way towards the B-bomb site. So you've got this box here. You've got more cover from this position. I think heads turn up around, still around like here, this area here, when someone's coming up the ramp. This car, again, space. It's a more normal car. I like the difference in sounds. They've really worked on the sounds a lot. And they're not getting enough credit for that at the moment, on a side note. So there's more cover in this position as well. And you can jump on the boxes. So if you are trying to save, notes, again, you can strafe a fair bit without giving a footstep away. So you've got some breathing room. If you have to come off these boxes, you should die. But anyway, it's another place to potentially save, which is cool. Again, the Xbox that was here has gone, and there was a little hiding thing in the corner which has gone. Obviously, with no Xbox, there's no trick jumps. Jump on some bin bags to get in and out of there. So, despite these looking like stairs, as you can see, it's a pretty smooth slope, which is good because going up and down would be pretty annoying if you're trying to aim at someone's head. I'm glad the big box here has gone because it was stupid and annoying, and people who stood behind it were mostly morons. There was a wheelbarrow here. It wasn't a nice object in the game, and you could get the bomb stuck behind it, so glad it's gone. Sometimes you want to drop the bomb here. Moving into B-apps, you still got this sneaky thing which some Ts use post-plant, or some CTs if they push. Now, this pillar used to be good to have a little gap on the left-hand side to give the Ts good cover when CTs were pushing. As you can see, that's changed. You need to expose at least half your body now to hold the same angle. However, you can hold it on this side, so you've got a small gap. And it does give you great cover from flashbangs if CTs go for a push. So that's something. So that's quite interesting. In terms of rush timings towards B, I think it's obvious that the B tunnel is narrow, which is good from a CT point of view because it makes the high explosive grenades more viable. Because, I mean, how does it not do colossal splash damage in this tight area? Especially considering if this grenade hits you in the chest, it's going to slow you down. You're going to block people. People are going to get wrecked. If you have a good read on what you think your opponent is going to do, and you think they're going to go force buy or eco rush B, if you get two people to grenade stack with a few seconds delay, that is going to be an absolute slaughter. And again, it disencourages. I feel like it might be longer as well, but because it's narrower, it disencourages rushes because it's going to be very punishing if you get it wrong. You still have this position here. You still have this position here. And you still have this position here. You can still jump on this from both sides. Again, the car has changed. You can dance around it now. It's not an annoying object that is difficult to maneuver. It's much more reasonable now. This is still here. Now, double stack has changed. It's still technically a double stack, but you could jump on the middle of it previously, and now you can't. And at first, I didn't like this, but now I do. Well, it's fine basically for me because I like to put the idea of having a reasonable amount of body cover while standing in the middle of this, looking towards here. But now it's narrower. I feel like turn the no clip off. Here you have a trade-off where you can have a reasonable amount of cover here, but obviously you engage when the T's are a lot closer to the mouth of the site. And maybe that's a fair trade-off when you consider that the site is narrower and you still have options to get, sorry, the entrance is narrower and you still have options to get more aggressive. You can be up here, you can be over here. Still got the headshot position, although I feel more exposed. Yeah. So still got barrels there. This is bigger. It is maybe it's taller, I don't know, or maybe it's deeper. Actually, I think it's deeper. The construction area here has changed. It's a lot deeper now, so maybe it gives you more options on either side. Maybe it's more of a blind spot. Maybe you can have somebody deep here, maybe on a T side, and then once he's playing contact, then this guy can, I don't know. There are things to be had here. Going into CT spawn, we spoke about these angles briefly. This is absolutely awesome. Bloody hell. Yeah. No Xbox jump. You can still jump up here. On the old Dust 2, you could run and jump over there. I don't know if that's still possible. I'm not going to play around a bit now. CT spawn, pretty much the same. Not much else to say about that. And you can still boost up onto short here. So I think that's everything that I want to talk about. Oh, I didn't mention on long some other changes. There used to be taller buildings here, and you used to be able to run and throw a smoke grenade that would bounce off a building there and land in this position. They've changed that now. It's probably possible off these buildings as well. I mean, there's nice symbols like the tooth sign. So yeah, you see now, I've never done that before. I just thought that, well, you can see that this seems to be wider. But anyway, I thought there was a reason this was here beyond just putting it there. I think that's there for people to use if they want to as a place to throw smokes, which is cool. It's a nice detail that can easily go overlooked. So props to that for Valve. Props to Valve for that. Now, I made some smokes on old Dust 2. For example, let's say you're a T and you're the last guy and you're coming from long, but you want to suggest that you're coming from short or something. I don't know. You could throw some smokes, which is still possible here. I haven't properly finished making them yet, but just as an example, there will be a gap here, but again, it's unfinished work. But even if there is a gap, it doesn't, I mean, for its purpose, well, I'll make a better one regardless, but that's still possible. What isn't as it was is you could actually flash short from this position. So let's say you're a CT and you're playing close long, right, and you still got control of long. If you have an AWPer in this position, like going back and forth, and let's say you have a CT Goose or wherever, one of your AWPer's jobs is going to be to flash behind his teammate so his teammate can face or face with him, whatever. But you can also you could also support from long if you did a running jumping flashbang from here. But this area has changed now, as you can see. Try one higher. Let me see where that goes. Yeah, this, I'm sure it can be done with some adjustment, but this has definitely changed. Also, I made a smoke for long doors from this position, but as you can see, this is a lot taller, so this needs to be redone if at all possible. So there's a lot of changes there. Another one, an old one, which used to be referred to as a Fnatic smoke, was essentially from short to land on this position. So if you had a sniper, that their view was considerably obscured around this position. Doesn't you don't see it so much anymore, and this awning doesn't help, and that's maybe why it's here. Just like the one outside long stops Shocks from throwing his smoke. Maybe I knew that would happen. Okay, let's just doesn't matter. If if you crouch, let's see. This is a random guess. Yeah. So I do believe this has been deliberately designed to force a change in approach, which isn't a bad thing, and it does give more life to and zest to the map than it otherwise would have on a re-release. So those kind of things need to be looked at. This is very dirty. I like it. It's almost perverse. It's cool. Yeah, so I think that's most of my comments on Dust 2. It has had a few changes since I last looked at it. So, so before you could boost on here, right, on old Dust 2, you could boost somebody and look over. But as you can see, this wall has been made deeper and they've put this thing here. So I think they are trying to change that, which is a shame because it was rare and I liked abusing it. It was fun. But it's not there, so it is what it is. I will make a separate grenade video on Dust 2 maybe in a few days, maybe on my Razer laptop. But for now, I think this about covers everything I want to say. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If I have an answer for them, then I will answer them in the comments. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.